Well, good afternoon, ladies. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Please tell me your names.
Nancy Hill, I'm the library director.
Penny Barobi, Children's Librarian.
And what's going on over here today? We have an exciting event. The library is 10 years old today, our new library.
10-year edition of 10-year anniversary of the addition and renovation.
Wow. So what else can you tell me about the new?
Well, we have. Can this be?
We can make this a blooper if you want.
What can I, lady? What can I tell you about the building?
Well,
we all worked very hard. We stood on street corners, holding signs. We mailed out letters to everybody, hoping that we could get this passed, and we did on the vote.
now, I know this is a tough question. Approximately how many books do we have in this library? Do we know?
Over 200,000. We circulate an average of 18,000 titles a month.
Wow. Now, what's the most popular books?
It's always what's on the New York Times bestseller list, or if, sometimes if Oprah or somebody mentions a book on TV, that becomes very popular, and we usually have to get extra copies.
Now, do you have a book club over here?
We do not have a book. We actually tried to start a Books and Brews book club at a pub in town, but that didn't fly.
Wonder why.
There are several book groups that use our building, but they're not led by us. Well, actually, you have the children's room has a.
Amber has
a book group.
She has a book group for Amber, my assistant.
Yeah.
She has a book club for grades 3 to 5.
Oh, that's great.
We'll be starting up more in the fall. Can't
No,
wait.
you also have videotapes for rental. Is that correct?
We don't
if
rent
you're
them,
a
they're
member,
free.
if you're a member, yeah.
Yeah, with your library card, DVDs. Yep, we do, and they go out for a week.
Now, are you updated on all the new movies that are?
We are. As soon as they come out, we have them.
Wow.
Yeah.
who
And we
knew?
also circulate some unusual things. We have cake pans that we circulate.
And so
We
what-
do.
What is that?
A cake pan so that you can make a shaped cake.
Yeah.
They're really expensive. So if your daughter wants a ballerina cake, it's $50 for the pan. But, and that you're only going to use once. So we actually have them here, and you can take them out for a week free of charge. Bring them back clean. You don't have to buy your own pan.
So, Bob, if you really want to bake a cake, you can come over here and get your own pan. That's
And the
terrific.
children's room has launch pads.
We have tablets. They are not connected to the internet. They have 10 apps on them. They're for different age levels, and those also go out for a week free of charge.
Oh, that's terrific. So you have like a computer room that the kids or adults can go to if they want to sit and use the Wi-Fi? Anything like that?
We do, yeah, but what Penny's talking about are actually tablets that you take the physical tablet home.
Oh.
And they have, 10 to 12 apps, games on them?
10.
10 games on them,
And
all
should
around
I-
a theme.
What's the most popular game?
Prehistoric playground.
Really?
Yes. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Who knew? Well, we did a fishing derby a couple of weeks ago at the Sportsman's Club, and I asked one of the kids, I said, so tell me, which came first, the dinosaur or the fish? I think he guessed it, but he said the fish.
He said the fish,
And he
yep.
was right.
Yep.
He was right with the fish. But everybody thinks dinosaurs are much older than fish, but they're
Yep,
really not.
yep. So today we're celebrating this beautiful building, and we're going to have cake and coffee. And Susan Schwartz, the director that was here at the time that the building was renovated, is coming. And
that's great.
we've invited Dennis Pindak, the old town manager, and the building committee, and some of the architects are coming.
Oh,
So
that's great. So you have
should be exciting.
I
Yeah.
heard some of the selectmen were coming over.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep.
Well, that's terrific. Now, what is this sign over here? You have
Oh, those were the signs that they.
the old ones.
Yeah, Julie brought it in. Julie, can you grab your sign and bring it
I
over?
saw her bringing it in. I wasn't sure what it was, though. I figured I'd ask.
Julie can tell
Everybody
you.
wore.
Oh, that's what you wore 10 years ago?
Yes.
Wow.
We couldn't wear it in the building, but we could wear it
Right.
outside.
Isn't that funny?
Yep. And
Now
Julie
look
was
at
one of
that.
the Julie was one of the people that held signs on the corners
And
to get the
apparently it
building
worked,
passed, and it
because here we
worked.
are.
This
Yeah.
was to get the override pass initially to get the building started.
Wow.
And we joined forces with the police department, and it was the best union and the best time we had.
We had manpower and they had money.
Exactly.
It worked beautifully.
Well, that always works
How
out.
long were you in the temporary quarters?
2.5 years.
A long time.
Oh,
While the
really?
It
building
was
was being
supposed to
done.
be
Well, the
18
building
months,
was- Yeah.
but 2.5 years.
And tell everybody your name.
Julie Sheehan.
Nice to meet you. Mine's Gay Corey.
20 years. I'm
Bob
retired
Corey.
now.
You're retired, but you're still here, holding signs.
Absolutely. It's our library.
It is.
Belongs to the
It's
town.
beautiful in here, though. I can remember years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, we did a show. It was actually upstairs, because at that time we were involved in ghost hunting.
Right.
Do you remember
I
that?
remember that.
So we were upstairs and we did our show upstairs about ghosts, and we took some of the books and went through them, and it was a lot of fun. Do you ever know anybody has a ghost?
The Nevins Library in Methuen
Really?
has a ghost. Yep, Mrs. Nevins haunts the Nevins Library. I worked there for 5 years, so.
Do you have an encounter?
No, but you never, it always felt odd being in the building alone.
Well, I imagine it'd be a little,
Yeah, yeah.
little eerie.
Yeah.
Somebody had told me that Inglesby, Mr. Inglesby might be roaming around over
Oh,
here.
really?
That's what I heard. I don't know. We're going to have to check it out and see. He should be very proud of his new school, though, too. So, so that's it. So, and you have a cake, and we're having coffee, and anything else you'd like to
Yep.
tell me about?
No, I think some of the people that will be coming to visit can probably tell you some more. I'm sure that Susan and Dennis have some
Now, was
stuff.
Dennis, Susan, was she originally?
She was the director here for a long
17
time,
years.
17 years, yeah. And she was the one that, the director at the time that the building was done,
She
so.
was the driving force behind it.
She
Oh,
sure
really?
was.
She started all the grant processes, the override she helped out with, then the actual building design. And she involved her staff in it. She asked us for a lot of input, and she listened, and she took a lot of it to heart. Buildings can be built by hands, but this library was built with a lot of heart.
Oh, you bet. You bet. I mean, look at the outside of it. Kind of, people refer it as the Taj Mahal of Draycott.
It's beautiful.
They
It's
do-
a,
they
it's a
really do,
beautiful
'cause it's so
building.
pretty. It
Yep.
is very, very pretty, and it's lovely in here, too. So, well, thank you. And I see that we have one of the members of the building committee over here. Phil Tebow has just arrived, just in time for coffee. And pastry, Phil. Were you part of this, Phil? Well, please come on over. Didn't know you were going to be here today, huh?
Well, I knew I was going to be here.
Well,
I
you
just
didn't
didn't
know
know
you
I
were
was
gonna
going to
be-
be in front of a camera.
Yeah, I know. So what did it involve to get this going, Phil?
Well, I came into the project, I think it was probably about a third of the way through. That's when I joined the Permanent Building Committee. And was in meeting every week, as we do with other projects, and keeping track of the contract and making sure it stayed on schedule. And it ran a little behind here and there, but we made sure that it stayed on budget, and it actually came in below budget, which was a
Now, how long did it actually take to build this new building?
it was probably in the 30-month range, I think, or something like that.
What was it?
2.5 years.
2.5 years? Oh,
That's not unusual for a project this size and complexity.
well, that's very nice. So, with that note, folks, if there's anything else you can tell us? Anything? And okay, then we will wrap it up right now until some more folks come over, and then we'll talk to Susan Schwartz and whoever else would like to talk to us. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
All right, well, tell everybody your name.
My name is Philip O'Brien from Johnson Roberts Associates Architects.
Now, you were the major architect in this project? were you?
It's a team effort. Stuart Roberts, he's due here in a little while. He's also was part of the team from our office, and there's a bunch of other architects in our office and engineers and so forth that are all part of the team.
So it took approximately, Phil was saying, approximately 30 months to get this up and going, or?
Overall, I think that's probably true. Between the design work that we did, the preliminary work that we did, all the way through construction. Construction, I think, took about 2 years. So that sounds about right.
So is that what you do? You're an architect?
Yeah, that's what we do. We design actually lots of libraries around
Oh, do you?
Massachusetts and New England. Yeah.
Do you do other things besides libraries, or just?
Yeah, a lot of our work is public work, and we actually right now we actually have some work that we're doing up at UMass Lowell, which is close by. We designed your your town hall next door.
Oh, the town hall?
And that's
Well, that was a major undertaking for you.
yeah, that was. It was a.
We were there when it came down.
Yeah, it's a big difference between what you had before.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
it's beautiful in there.
Yeah,
Well, you
thank
do
you.
wonderful work. I
Well,
have
thank you
to
very
say.
much. Thank you.
very And the town is enjoying this as much as we are, and it's at everybody's disposal, so it's really nice.
Yes, and it was a real pleasure. We do work on lots of different types of buildings, public buildings, town halls, police stations, fire stations, but libraries is really one of our favorites. And part of the reason is because I can always come visit them later on, take a walk in, have a good read myself. Sometimes between meetings, it's terrific, just as an asset.
You can take out movies, and I just found out you can take out a cake pan if you want to bake a cake.
Is that right? Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, there you go. You got everything right here at your disposal.
Yeah, we hear all kinds of things. There's folks that are loaning, out in Western Mass, that are loaning fishing rods. There's people that are loaning musical instruments. There's one library that's loaning guitars and ukuleles, and you can take one out and then also come in and get a free lesson on how to play it.
Isn't that nice? I have my mother's ukulele, but I don't know how to play it.
Well, maybe you could learn how to do it at the library. I don't know if they
Maybe
do
I
it here in Drake.
Maybe. Well, thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you, and I'm glad to be here.
All right, my name is Gay Corey, Bob Corey behind the camera.
Nice to meet
over
you,
there.
Gabe,
Nice-
Bob.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you. This
You
is
bet. No, it
gorgeous.
was fun. It was a great project work.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks.
I want to thank everybody for coming to help us celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the building. I take absolutely no credit. I've only been here 3.5 years. But we do have with us today a lot of people who are responsible for the new building. And I was hoping that Susan, the former director, and Dennis Pindak might be willing to say a few words.
Do you want the mic?
I guess based on what happened a week or so ago, I shouldn't start with this story, but this project really was the result of an alliance between the library staff and the police department. Some called it a holy alliance and some called it an unholy alliance, but it did get a debt exclusion approved to build both this building and the police station, which was the first time in Drake, and it was very satisfying. I know Susan at the time told me it would never happen. I told her it wouldn't happen. She told me it would. And she said, when pigs fly. And after it passed, on my desk showed up a pig with wings on it. And I still, and I still have that. But no, this was a great project for the town. It really was. It's a beautiful building. I still have on my bookcase at home a brick from the old building that was demolished, inscribed with the old library date on it. And it's a great memory. And I know the community has loved it. We even brought our grandchildren here a few times, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. So I wish the staff well. Right there. Everybody, thank you.
Now, Susan, would you like to say something? Put your right on the spot, huh?
I don't think I need a mic.
You got a fan club.
I used to get more flack for saying this was my staff from everybody. But somehow or other, I don't think anybody else would own them, and I love them. It's a family. They stood out in the freezing cold in snowsuits to get that debt exclusion passed. And I'm telling you, it was the funniest thing in the world to see them walk into the library this way from freezing to death, get out of the snow pants and everything else, and just stand them on the street. I mean, on the side of the library, so they thought.
That's
I
funny.
have to say, driving up here after so many years, I'm not sure when I was more nervous. The first time I ever came to this building, to the library, not this building, or today. We started out in a little building and we ended up in an absolutely beautiful, thank you, Stu and Phil, building. The Permanent Building Committee was absolutely wonderful. We owe so much to, unfortunately, our two trustees that saw it through to almost the end, but didn't make it to the end. But
So how did the project begin? Did you started this? I heard you did.
well, no. Actually, if I'm correct, was it Hurricane Bob that started it? Dennis?
Oh.
When the
Hurricane
old
Bob.
building had 3 feet of water and Jean went down the elevator and screamed, "Stop it, because I'm going under," to find out what was wrong. And we realized that this old building out here was okay, but this building wasn't going to, the building that was standing here wasn't going to make it. But we went through some interesting times. We had, of course, the failure of the first override, which closed the library for a grand total of 6 months, thanks to an absolutely wonderful group of friends of the library who just said, we're going to reopen, and we did in 6 months. I had nothing to do with it. As I keep saying, the community allowed me to be the custodian of their library. It was not my library, it was their library. I was just the custodian, sometimes really. But
Now, how long were you here before? Well, you were here
I
at
came
the
in 1990.
initial.
So I closed it, reopened it, demolished it, and built it.
I guess that covers it all, doesn't it?
It does. It does. There's nothing more to do once you do something like that. And I couldn't have done it.
How did the project begin, though?
How did it?
I mean, were you the initial person to start this project, or was it a group of you?
No, I don't think so. I think the town looked at the buildings and looked at the police department, looked at the library. Dennis, fortunately, was right with us.
What was your position over here?
I was the library director.
Oh, you were the library
Oh, yeah. I started in 1990, and I saw it through everything, which was the highest up and the lowest down you can get. But it was just a wonderful experience. It really was. It was, how did it start? It didn't really start. It just sort of grew. Because as people kept coming and everything else, and John Caton, a trustee, I see Nancy over there, when he hired me, just said, oh, for God's sake, Susan, I don't care what you do, just do something. And about 12 years later, he said, yeah, we're doing it, aren't we? But
Well, it was
Everybody.
quite an undertaking, but look what we have now.
oh, it's just beautiful. I still remember the look on Stu's face when he brought out all these beautiful pictures of drawings that the library could be. And over in the corner on a discarded sheet was the picture of the curve. And I remember the look, you were playing with it, I think, Phil, and I just looked at it and I said, that's beautiful. And they both just groaned and held their heads because it's different. But I've been in a lot of libraries, and this is still my favorite. It's the most beautiful library there is.
I can remember coming here. I shouldn't admit to that, but I can remember coming here.
Well, I hope you keep coming.
Well, I still do, yes.
Then it's okay.
It is okay.
It's just everything I think we wanted. It was a community effort. It was a community fun time working with the police department. We had a good time. We really
Well, it
did.
offers so much. I mean, you have so much for the children. I mean, you have the books here that people can take out. You have video games, and I just found out that you have baking
That's not my doing.
pans that you can come over here and rent not even
I
just take
did-
it out and bake a cake.
I dug the groundwork. Nancy, the other directors that have been here since me, they have done that. All I did was work to get the building here.
And you did a marvelous job.
Then Drake took it over.
That's all she did. I don't know. I see a little controversy over there.
That's why nobody would acknowledge them as their staff. They're mine.
Maybe we should hear what they have to say.
Oh, yes, you should, because they're the ones that were on the front line. I'm not from Drake. They would not allow
But you're
me.
a major part of
But
this.
they would
undertaking.
not let me be on the front line because it wouldn't be right.
Now, are most of you ladies, were you here originally?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So you've been here over 10 years?
Oh, good Lord, yes.
Yeah.
They were out on the lines.
Wow.
There was one weekend, I think, Dennis, I think you'll back me up on this, where if a car swerved on that one corner where we were all holding signs, we would have wiped out half the Board of Selectmen, the police department, the fire.
The police chief and Glenn Edwards was on there.
Glenn and Jack Titilio and Jimmy.
Wow.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going back.
That was the hard part, but it was the part I think that made us realize that Drake was ready for a new building. They were ready for the challenge. And 10 years to the day that the library, not to the day, but almost to the month that the library closed, the town took a deep step and said, we're building.
Now, how did you find all these architects?
Well,
Or did they find you? I mean,
we have in Drake and I'll say we because I still say I'm part of Drake we have in Drake a very wonderful permanent building committee who allowed me to work with them. And they interviewed all the architects, they interviewed the proposals, they looked at the proposals, they loved what Stu and Phil came up with, and they got stuck with us. I mean, they did a lot of other things, but they got stuck with us, and I think they went through many steps to get to where we are now, many. And they had with them, you can see the different colors. Usually when a library is built, it sort of has the colors of the time.
Yeah.
Well, this one doesn't. This has traditional colors that are lasting. They haven't disappeared with the rose and the teal and the pink and the greens that are in other libraries. That we owe to Angela, who couldn't be here today, who just sort of said that this is what we're going to do. Would you go along with it? And we went along with it.
I was talking to a couple of the members, and they said it took about 30 months to get this up and running, I guess.
It took about that length of time to build it. Once the building was complete, it didn't take us that long to get the books back in and everything else. But I'll tell you, this staff moved just about every book in the library at least 3 times. So it just grew.
That's terrific.
It is. It was a terrific undertaking, and it was something that I've never forgotten any more than I've forgotten the wonderful people that worked with it.
Well, that's wonderful. And your name is Susan Schwartz?
Yes.
And thank you. Mine's Gay Corey, Bob Corey. And we'll have to talk to these ladies over here, Bob.
You really should, because if they can give you input, nobody else can give you input like they can give you input.
Would like to thank.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you
The
for inviting
selectmen
me.
are here with a citation.
Oh, terrific. Oh, come on over, Allison. Nancy. Tammy.
So Tammy and I are here on behalf of the Board of Selectmen to present you with this official town citation. Be it known that the town of Dracut extends its congratulations to Moses Greenlee Parker Memorial Library in recognition of the 10-year anniversary of the opening of the new library building. From the Dracut Board of Selectmen, signed by Tony Archinsky, our chair.
Thank you.
Terrific.
Congratulations, and congratulations, Susan.
Thank you.
Jim said a rose between 2 thorns. Well, we thank you for coming over and giving the citation. That was very thoughtful.
Oh, no, this is a beautiful place.
It is beautiful.
The town should be very proud of this building, and it gets so much use, so much use.
And I think the best part of it was when my children were little and they said, we can go to the library and get a library card for free. And I said, yes, that's the best part of it. You can
Do you
get
have
books
one?
out. I have a library card as well, absolutely.
Jim, you go?
Absolutely.
We have 3 in our house. Catherine doesn't have one yet.
Not yet. She reads. She's an avid reader. I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen a little girl read as much as she does.
We have 20 books checked out at the moment. Oh, yeah.
Wow. She's amazing.
Kindle, but-
Takes me about 2 months to read a book.
I know. You know what they
you get
have? here? They
distracted,
have
you
great
know?
recipe books, like old recipe books, and you could take the pans out as well. I've done that
I know,
before.
I'm excited to try the pans. That'll be really
Well, I told Bob he could take the pans out. It won't be me.
Bob's baker.
Yeah, he is.
Nice.
And the chef.
And the chef?
Yeah, I'll do brownies.
That's super. Yeah, brownies are easy.
No, keep it simple for me.
We
I
can get a
not
lot
burn
of
them.
recipes in the books for brownies.
There you
The
go.
old-fashioned, really good ones.
Well, thank you for coming over.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Very much for your service.
Oh, you're welcome.
Always.
So how are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good. What's your name?
Rosalie Dunbar. I live on School Street, and I still have one of those signs in my car in my garage because it was so exciting to be part of it. There was a beginning meeting where we all got together. A number of us got together to talk about the library and how it should happen, and then it gradually, as Susan said, we all worked together, and this is kind of what developed. But the thing for me was, it was the first time I'd ever had an opportunity to be part of something the town was doing. And I love libraries, and I loved the library, but I could see there were problems. And the thing that's so awesome is that every time I drive by this library now, think of all the different things, the moments when we weren't sure if things would go through, and some of us were praying, and some of us were standing holding signs, all the different stuff that happened. And it was really kind of thrilling when then there was that one moment where we were almost there, and then click, and it happened. And
History in the making here.
history in the making. And to me, it means so much because it shows that, when people say, oh, you can't make a difference, it's too much trouble and stuff. But once you get into it and you're actually involved in it with all these people who are also trying.
Now, did you work here at the library?
No, I'm just just an ordinary library user.
Just got involved in the program.
But I love libraries, and I love this library, and I love our town. And so it was really important for and I could see the kids needed to have a better library. I mean, there was so much going with this, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take too much of your time, but
Oh, no,
just
that's
wanna-
all right. That's why
just
we're
want
here.
to say
We want to hear the stories.
one last thing, which is that the result of it all, of course, is the building and everything, but the growth that we all went through, like when the police department needed their facility upgraded, and there was this moment when, is there going to have to be a choice? And then when the town voted for both, it was like, yes! Because you could see the brilliance of the town and seeing
But look
the
what
need-
we have now.
Yeah, and seeing the need for progress
Yes,
and being
exactly.
willing to support it. So
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. And
thank you for giving me the time.
oh, you're welcome. Thanks again. Thanks for helping out. Well, Bob, we have all the staff over here right now, and I'm just going to go around and get everybody's names and thank them. And how long have you folks been working here?
Various times.
Various
Amount of time, yeah.
Who's been here the longest? Ellie. How many years? 22. Wow. You were here right from the beginning. So please tell me your name.
Carol Hamilton.
Diane Annunziato.
Your name.
Penny Berube.
Julie Sheehan.
What is your name?
Donna Sherwood. Christine Guile.
Ellie Zeffin.
22, huh? Oh,
Lee Doyle, retired 18 years.
wow. And who's this?
Kathy Benz, 10 years. I'm not here anymore.
You're here. You're here now, though. That's good.
How long have I been here? How long was I here?
Yeah.
18 years, something like that.
That's terrific. That's really, really good.
It was
So I think we have everybody here. We wanted to get a group shot. Anybody have any interesting stories that you can share? Is there? I know. Do you have any interesting stories that you can share?
Oh, I could tell some buttes.
I just want one.
Well, the debt exclusion party was quite the thing. We did have a bottle of champagne on ice for the day, just to make sure it was cold in case we decided to break the law and open the bottle in-house.
We didn't hear a thing.
Which we did. Which we did.
And
It was a
rightfully so,
joyful
rightfully
night. It was great.
Any other stories that you want to share? Can you tell me anything?
Jean and Judy.
Tell me something. What do you think? You've been here 22 years. There must be something. Funny story happened over here.
The library
Stays in the library. Oh boy, you ladies are like, you're too tight-lipped for me. Thank you all for your service. Thank you all. Thank you. Do you have any interesting stories you'd like to share?
I don't think so.
They just won't talk. All right. Thank you.
Confidentiality.
Thank you. Thank you for your service, and thank you for building this gorgeous library. And please start here.
Oh, Phil Tebow.
Dennis Pienack.
Harvey Gagnon.
Phil O'Brien.
And I'm Stu Roberts.
Nice to meet you.
Ellis Neofatistis.
And we thank all you gentlemen for all your hard work and all the time that you put in to this library. How many hours do you think you put in?
There were thousands of hours.
Thousands and thousands of hours.
In trailers out here on the lawn in the middle of winter.
Really?
Probably something I should not mention that a lot of the community doesn't know is that the architects received the national award for the brickwork on this building. They did, and it was.
Is that what you get, a golden trowel?
Golden Trowel Award from the National Masonry.
That's quite prestigious, isn't
It's
it?
got the brickwork on the building is kind of special. There's some interesting things with the curves and the jack arches and things.
Wow. And I have, did either one of you pick up a trowel and kind of jump in there?
No.
No, huh? Couldn't get them to do it, huh, boys?
How did you give it all the good stories about the architect? I'll tell you a story.
Okay. We like good.
David, the architect did a great job. We're very pleased. But we have a little bit of problem because Drake had a problem with water. And so we had a little bit of problem with water in the basement. But we were able to resolve it,
Did the fire department come over and bail you out?
No. It was an uncaring problem from the original construction. So
So you all had little buckets, the bucket brigade.
we resolved it. So and without any big deal. Yeah.
That's great. Any other stories you want to share?
I can't think of a great.
Nobody's talking over here. All right, well, once again, we'd like to thank all of you for your hard work and the many years of devotion here to get this up and running, and thanks again.
I always, we were building this, I always thought if you pan up here and look on the mezzanine, that would be a gorgeous, gorgeous location for weddings. Just look at the backdrop with those windows.
Oh, look at that.
The bride could come down the stairs, the guests could be gathered on a mezzanine. It would make
You
a
are such a
It
romantic.
would make a wonderful
Wow.
location for weddings.
They could read poetry to one another.
Oh, there you go. There's plenty of books here.
In fact, in case
Dennis is always thinking about revenue.
That's very revenue. Well, thanks again, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Well, Bob, that was pretty exciting. We've met most of the women, all the women who've been involved in this. We met the architects. Our town manager was here, and our former town manager was here. This was very, very nice.
10 years, that went by fast.
It did go by very fast. And Dennis Pindak, you're absolutely right. That is an absolute gorgeous view
Yes,
for a
it
wedding.
is. It was really a nice view for a wedding.
It is. Picture the bride just coming up these stairs, with her long flowing dress.
Coming down the stairs in the background.
And the background is absolutely beautiful.
Excellent.
They should get Dennis as a wedding planner.
That's right. A consultant.
That's it, a consultant.
It was tough to say, consultant.
I know. So anyway, from Gay and Bob, we'd like to thank you for joining us.
So from Bob,
And Gay, thanks for joining us. And don't forget to come over to the library. There's plenty to do over here. There's DVDs and everything over here.
and then we're having the chorus, right?
Actually, Community Chorus is May 15th at 6 o'clock over at the new high school.
Yes, we'll be there.
We'll be there. Don't sing, Bob.
I sang once.
You did. Slow. Thanks for joining us, folks. And happy 10th anniversary to the library. Moses Greeley Library.